So the first few minutes of the YouTube post is going to be
Go to
audio.
Infendo.com and join our Discord and ask us a question.
If you like cartoony Italian plumbers, you're in the right place. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infendo Radio. My name is Lucas. This is episode 647. There it is. I knew it was coming. Don't ask how I knew it was coming, because this is definitely the first time we've recorded this intro. Infendo Radio. We never do a second take. Welcome to the show. We have a show for you tonight. There was a Nintendo Direct today, and it was a big one, even though it was a small one, as I'm sure we'll all talk about in a minute here. But before that, I'd like to introduce my lovely co-host and tell everyone how they're doing. Justin, how you doing tonight? And where can the people find you?
All right, we're mixing it up. Am I muted?
Nope.
No, you're here.
No,
You are
okay.
loud and clear.
Sorry. I was hovering over my thing that said mute. Okay,
You're doing
anyway,
great.
Hi, I'm Justin. You can follow me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can go to thedisneyparkbench.com and see all of my Disney-related postings and stuff. And yeah, that's all I got to say for that.
Right,
I'm
then,
doing well.
Eugene, what all do you have to say for that?
This is definitely not the second time I'm doing an intro here, so I'm going to tell you about how great I'm doing, how fantastic the weather here is in New Mexico. Actually, it is. It's been raining, and it's kind of cool out, so I'm liking it. But that's not important. What's mainly important is you guys want to go to Infendo.com if you want to find out all the, Infendo happenings that are going on in the world of Infendo. But you don't care about that. You care about Lucas, because he's actually doing things in the world of the internet. I watched one of your YouTube videos the other day. How are you doing tonight, Lucas?
Did it happen to be Dark Souls? Did you happen to watch
I mean,
Dark
yeah,
Souls?
I'm very, yeah, you know me.
Disappointed in me? Yeah, I know. I would be too. My performance was pretty piss poor. I'm doing good, Eugene, and thank you for asking. Yes, it is true. I have a YouTube channel called Lucas Peace. I post videos there. I've been posting a lot of videos there lately. I've been playing Dark Souls. I've been playing Fall Guys. Played Monster Hunter with Steve. We recorded 3 hours and 40 minutes of us hunting the final monster in the Monster Hunter Rise demo for the new Sunbreak DLC. And I will spoil that video for you guys. We didn't kill it. We tried for a very long time. We were unable to kill it. So if you want to sit back one Sunday afternoon, you want to have a little a pitcher of lemonade, kick back, take a little nap, and while you're drifting off to sleep, listen to Steve and I just swearing profusely. Put that video on in the background. It's plenty of content there to get you through the entirety of your nap.
That was one of the recommended videos after I watched the Dark Souls video. So
that's that's like a hard mode watching my content version. Like easy is Fall Guys. Hard is 4 hours of Steve and I hunting a monster in Monster Hunter Rise,
God, that's like Avengers Infinity War. We're just gonna sit here for hours and watch everybody lose.
Yeah, pretty much how it went down for us. Steve is right. He's in the comments right now. I mean, the ghost of Steve. We got very, very, very close. The last hunt that we did, we made it to we went to a 5th area, which he's never done. I was trailing him. It was close, but we could not take him down. So looking forward to the game dropping at some point tonight and us being able to try again. So we will let you know how that goes next week. But for now, we have plenty to talk about because there was a Nintendo Direct. What was it? Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, in the morning, I believe.
Right? In the morning, that's right. Because that was the first thing I did when I woke up was I watched that Direct. And it was really cool. I heard it was going to be a mini Direct. It was going to be a third-party Direct. So I was thinking, okay, this probably won't be anything. And then they started showing off just game after, it started with Monster Hunter Rise. And I skipped that because I'm kind of going into that game mostly blind. But there was a lot of stuff that I was
skipped
really
that as
interested
well,
in.
but for entirely different reasons.
Of course. Does anybody want to I
Yes.
don't know if anybody has a list of the games. On you. You are new Steve. Ever since we lost Steve, you're the new Steve.
Well, Before I get to the list, could I just talk about my, I don't know if it was a highlight or what it was, but it was my standout from the mini, because I hadn't seen it yet. Freaking Sonic Frontiers looks pretty freaking cool, actually. Why is the internet...
It's so cool.
Why is the internet so mad at that game? It actually looks good. Like, I don't get it.
Okay, so I can kind of explain this.
I want it.
I can explain it in a few, real quick, your Sonic politics history lesson, whatever. So, there is the Sonic cycle of games where a game gets revealed, people think it's going to be good, then they get the game, it's not as good, then they get pissed off, then, start again. So there's already that, and Sonic forced us to try to have a good time, and it really wasn't that good of a time. So there's that whole level of 3D Sonic games, or anyway. But then on top of that, the very first gameplay that they showed off of the game basically looked like something that a fan made in Unreal Engine in a day. It was a big open world, tons of pop in. It looked empty. Sonic run cycles looked really bad and lazy and stuff. And then the day after that, Game Explained did an 8-minute trailer on the game that looked a lot better. So you've got people on both sides of the fence now who are this game looks unfinished. It looks like, some fanboy made it in his mom's basement. And then you have people who are yeah, but no, it actually has other stuff and it looks fun and it looks cool. So the whole internet is kind of at war right now over whether this game's going to be good, which is honestly pretty standard fare for a Sonic game. But I am so excited for this game. I have wanted an open world Sonic game for ever since I saw Sonic CD. I saw that intro and he's running around the mountain and oh God, I just can't wait.
It really seems like the way to do Sonic in 3D.
Yes.
Because you've got, how else are you going to gotta go fast?
Right.
Without a big open world.
And it solves the problem that they've been experiencing since the adventure games, which is they've always said that one of the hardest things about designing for a Sonic game is they can't make enough stage to make a satisfying gameplay experience, right? And they're always cutting corners and adding treasure hunting sections with Knuckles or shooting sections with Tails, because you can't make a full feature-length game with just Sonic stages that take up as much track as it takes to make a game about a character that moves through it so quickly. So it's kind of nice to just have a giant open Hyrule field to explore. And then it looks like within that, you'll be able to transport to the city world and the different worlds they started showing off to do more traditional stage stuff, which color me excited. Every time I see gameplay, I get more and more excited for that game. So I'm pretty ready for this one.
Yeah, no, it looked really cool. I was pleasantly surprised, quite honestly. But yeah, do you want me to just kind of run through the list that I have here? I'm pulling it from Polygon.com.
Yeah, and then I do want to talk about some of my favorites too, as I'm sure Justin and you do. So
yeah, totally, because there's a lot to talk about here. Obviously, honestly, this might be the show. We'll see. Yeah. But let's see. We started with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Kind of touched on that. Nier Automata. Excited about that one.
That was a big surprise. I was not expecting that game on Switch.
Yeah, totally. Is that a Square Enix game? I think it is, right?
I don't know. I didn't really follow that game at all. And then it just blew up online and I was like, what is this game? Why is everybody talking about this game? And now here it is.
And it's supposed to be very, have a little bit of Dark Souls tendrils into it. So I'm kind of excited to play it myself.
Yes, that is Square Enix. Oh, and developed by Platinum.
Okay, I thought it was Square because Square had a pretty
Platinum.
Square had a pretty big presence in this direct, as we'll get to here in a minute. But Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, that one looked interesting. I think that was like a puzzle adventure game. It looked like we had Super Bomberman R2. That looked pretty colorful and fun. This one looked fun. I rember these back in my.
Know what the R means?
Really awesome.
Okay. It was a good game.
These games are really cool. I remember them from my high school days. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. It's coming to Switch.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's cool, and it's a Game Boy Advance game, which is really weird.
10 Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah, we don't get those on Switch.
I know.
Well,
that's exciting.
Okay. 6 Game Boy Advance games with 4 of them being duplicates or however that works.
Okay, but Pokemon Red and Blue are still 2 different games, it's the same game, but they're different games. You're paying whatever you paid for in 1996 money for both games. So I don't know.
Fair. Next is Pac-Man World Repack. Not so excited about this one, but I mean, you know what would have gotten me excited if this included Pac-Man Versus.
Pac-Man World 2.
I wish it included. I wish it was the trilogy, honestly, because I've never played Pac-Man World 2 or 3. I loved Pac-Man World on the original PlayStation, so I'm actually excited about this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it could be good.
Next on the list, we have Blanc. That one looked really cool. It was like that black and white fox and deer game or whatever. Looks like that one's going to be launching as a console exclusive on the Switch next year. We got Return to Monkey Island. That one was coming, I think this year it was announced. Yeah, later on this year. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Looks like that's launching in October. Little Noah Scion of Paradise. That one looked weeby, but cool. We got Railgrade. All right, I like trains, so this one's got trains and robots, so it's hitting kind of two of my favorite things. We'll see how that goes. RPG Time, The Legend of Wright. This one looked cute. I don't think it's for me, but it looked interesting anyways. Sonic Frontiers, already talked about that one a bit. I don't know that I'm excited for it because I'm probably not going to get it, but I'm excited to see what it becomes for sure. See what the Sonic fan base reacts to that one.
AKA me.
Sure, yeah. You're my Sonic barometer.
I am the token Sonic fan base of this group here. Now that Steve is gone, it's just me. So.
It's true. We have Disney Dreamlight Valley. Justin, were you interested in this one? This looked like a U game.
Kind of looked like Harvest Moon with Disney.
Yeah. Like
it's like a little Harvest Moon, a little Animal Crossing. I don't know. I will keep an eye on it. Actually, it reminded me a little bit of what was the one, the Disney Infinity, the Toys to Life game that they had.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It seems like It seems like that mixed with Animal Crossing. So I don't know. If it goes on sale, I'll probably give it a try. But I don't think it's. I mean, it's up my alley because it's Disney, but it also seems a little on the simple side.
Yeah, kitty. Yeah. I think so. Next we have Live Alive or Live Alive. I don't really know how that's pronounced.
Live Alive.
But
Live Alive, I believe is.
Okay, that would make the most sense.
I like Live Alive because those are two actual words.
So do I, but that's apparently wrong.
No, that's what I'm calling it. So deal with it.
Well, that's another one by Square Enix making another appearance on the list. We have...
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Doraemon Season of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom. That's coming later on this year. It looked all right. Minecraft Legends, that piques Steve's interest, I'm sure, coming on next year.
I say nobody cares about that around here.
He's been talking about that one, but I don't know if it's going to be. I think it's going to be kind of a casual Steve game. I don't think it's going to blow him out of the water kind of thing. So
sure. Next we have Dragon Quest Treasures. So that one is looking like it's going to be pretty cool. Go ahead.
I want to pause here for a second because Dragon Quest Treasure. So, fun fact: I watched the direct in Japanese because I got it on my Nintendo Switch, and the only version that was pulling up in my newsfeed was the Japanese version. I didn't want to go on YouTube and kind of spoil myself searching for it. So I figured, screw it, I'll just watch it in Japanese. It's fine. So I watched the thing, and the entire time I was watching it, I was thinking, this is Monster or Dragon Warrior Monsters. This is that game. But it is not. It is Dragon Warrior Treasures or Dragon Quest Treasures.
Mm-hmm.
It sure looks like a monsters game. So I'm really hopeful that this will it's got the kids, it's got the monsters, it's got the two aspects that make a Dragon Warrior game a monsters game instead of a Dragon Warrior grew up with the Game Boy Dragon Warrior before they translated it and stuff. So that's just where my brain goes when I talk about Dragon Quest. But I really hope that this is a spiritual successor to the monsters games because those are my Dragon Quests. Those are my games. I want this. So
yeah, it looks cool and it's coming out this year.
Really hopeful.
Square, man, I'm telling you, and we're not even done with them quite yet.
Yeah.
We have Portal Companion Collection that dropped yesterday. Actually, I almost bought it. I
that's
almost
out?
bought it. Yeah,
That's
it came out
out?
yesterday.
Shoot.
Yeah, I almost.
Oh.
I've been waiting for that for so long, and I didn't end up getting it because I don't know whether I'm gonna wait for a sale or just wait until I have the attention span for it. Because
I was gonna buy it, but then I
do
myself,
love me some Portal.
Me too, but I convinced myself not to because I'm playing so many other games right now. I just, I know I wouldn't play it right this second. So, but yeah, it came out yesterday.
On
Supplies
my face
dropped.
right now is the Nintendo eShop.
The surprise drops, man. I love those. Those are so good.
That was the downside to watching the games in Japanese.
Yeah, right. Sure. Square Enix with another appearance with Harvestella. This one I'm really excited about, actually. It looks like Stardew Valley meets Harvest Moon meets Final Fantasy type of thing, it looks cool. I'm really excited about this one. Looks like it's dropping November 4th. Next we have not one, not two, but 3 Persona games coming in October. No, one of them's coming in October. The other ones are expected soon. The one in October, it looks like, is 5 Royale.
So here's the thing. As the resident Persona fanboy, I'd like to talk about Persona for a minute, if I may. I'm excited for this because we're getting Persona games on a Nintendo console, which is relatively unheard of, I feel like, as long as they're like main series games. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm probably in the minority here, I really wish that they were the original versions and not like the special edition, like the year after edited versions, because they always do weird stuff. Okay. Without getting into like spoilers, in Persona 4 Golden, which is like the updated version, for some reason they gave
everybody the only one
motorcycles. And it's really weird. Like, it's just a weird change. In Persona 5, they take like a really good story arc for like a main villain, and they like twist it and make the villain like come back to life, kind of, for like a bonus section. And they add a new character, and they give her like her own like story arc that goes through like the whole game. It's weird. It's like they take this like really good RPG plot and they make it like more messy and convoluted, and like they add fan servicey stuff with like characters. It's I don't know, it's weird. Not fan servicey like sexy, but like fan servicey like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we got to see what Morgana looks like as like that kind of stuff. It's
sure.
Weird. I don't know. I like the pure original versions of the game so much, and then like watching the bonus footage online of like the other games, I've always been convinced like I'm happy I played the original ones, which is a weird feeling to have, but I like these more. So like I'm again really excited we're getting Persona on Switch. I'm sure I'm in the minority. I'm sure a lot of people prefer the updated versions of the games that come out like a year later, but I kind of wish that we could just play the original games because those stories are so good. But anyway, that's all I've got. So really cool. Persona on Switch. I love it.
Yeah, Persona's and we're getting, hopefully more to come if they sell well, so we'll kind of see
Persona
how
6
that goes.
maybe? That would be exciting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then the last thing on this list anyways, I think it pretty much hit everything, was Captain Velvet Meteor, the Jump Plus Dimensions. I honestly don't remember what that one was in the direct, so if anybody remembered it, and I'm not doing it justice, I guess give it its due. But yeah, that was it.
So I have a couple more actually that didn't quite get mentioned, probably because they were very minor, but I was looking back at my messaging with Steve after like the direct launch and everything. Klonoa.
They did have that like montage in the middle of games that weren't focused on.
Sure.
Yeah, they showed off Klonoa, which I was really excited for. They showed off Digimon Survive, which is one that I've been kind of on the fence about, but that I'm hopeful will be good. They showed off more of my JoJo's All-Star Battle R, which is the fighting game that I love so much. It's getting a port to Switch in September, which I'm really excited for. So I don't know. There's a bunch of like little stuff that I'm pretty hyped.
No Man's Sky still
No Man's
coming
Sky
out. That's got me excited.
Yeah. I always get
How
that
are
mixed
they
up
gonna-
with the Outer Worlds.
I don't know how they're going to put that on the Switch because it like barely
Hopefully it won't be
ran.
cloud-based.
It seems like it's going to be like an actual game, but like that thing like had trouble running on my my Xbox, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what kind of magic they're
what's
going to
the-
do.
Didn't really think it was that graphically intensive.
But it's big, right? Like it's literally like the size of a universe, right? So I don't know. Well, anyway, is that the game that got good? That was
Yes.
like really bad when it came out, and now it's
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
a good game now. It's not a bad
Allegedly.
Because I've always equated that with a really bad game. Like I hear No Man's Sky and I think garbage, but I know that like nowadays,
Yeah, apparently it started out
the
really
game-
disappointed.
yeah, now
really
a game can
disappointing,
start
and then
really
got
bad and
bigger.
then get good. So like
Mhm.
I don't know, if it's good, I'll give it a try for sure. If it's not cloud based, because I've been interested in that one for a while.
Yeah, I think they said it was going to be. An
I
actual
played it on the
downloadable.
Xbox. I can't speak for the. Am I muted? No,
you're
we're just.
talking. It's just
There's just
time.
a
We're-
lag, so
we're
we end
on
up talking
Wi-Fi,
over each
so yeah,
other.
we talk over each other. We've been doing this show for 647 episodes. Go on, Justin.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right, Lucas. That when it first launched, it was a disappointment, and then over time, it built up to be a much better game. I played it on my Xbox One, and I enjoyed what I played of it, but it's definitely more of a portable, play while you're watching TV sort of game. So I'm really excited for it to be on Switch. I hope it's good on the Switch. 'Cause, I mean, even if it's okay on the Switch, I'll probably get more enjoyment out of it. Like The Witcher 3, I'm going to get more use out of it portable than on a big system. So
Cool. Well, does anybody have anything they really like they watch the direct and they're like, I need this in my life right now, kind of thing? Like, is that?
I mean, honestly, like I said before, the one that I'm most excited about is Pac-Man World, because I've been waiting for a remake or re-release of these games for years. Like I said, I played the original PlayStation game and loved it, but never beat it. So this will be a great chance for me to revisit that. I wish that it was the whole trilogy, but I suppose if this sells well, we'll probably see the other ones come out as well.
For me, I think it's Harvestella. That one like really hit me. I was like, yeah, give it to me in my veins.
It's got to be.
I hope
Sonic
that
for me. It's got to be.
Yeah, I'm excited for Sonic. I hope that the return to Monkey Island means that we will also get the other Monkey Island games, since we've already gotten some LucasArts games like Grim Fandango and Sam and Max. So hopefully we'll get a whole the whole series on the Switch.
Now, is Monkey Island, is that the really like funny weird one with the little like puppet looking monkeys that have like the snake cameo and stuff? Okay, good. I was getting that confused with Ape Escape, and I was like, which one is the good one? But yeah, no, it's Monkey Island. That's the one that I've been interested in.
I remember Ape Escape
that's
not being
the
bad.
whole LucasArts.
I don't know. I've
kind
never
of,
played either of them, but one of them has like silly monkey, so.
Ape Escape's the one that was on the PlayStation that was first, that I remember anyways. I was like, okay, this is why you need two joysticks, because you had controlled the monkey. Oh no, you controlled your character with one and then like the net with the other joystick to try and catch the monkeys. It was fun.
Cool. I missed out on like all the PlayStation era games. Never caught up with those.
Never had it, but a friend had it, and,
then
I always played it at his house.
And then I believe they ported Ape Escape to the PlayStation Portable, which not only had one joystick, but only had one of each shoulder button.
Sure.
So let me ask you guys this real quick. Call it question block for the week, but let me ask you guys this, and then we'll jump into the games we've been playing. If there is no E3 like announcement from Nintendo, if the next Nintendo Direct isn't until like September and it's about like the winter lineup and stuff, are you guys satisfied with what we got from this Direct, or are you weirded out? Are you disappointed? Are you wanting more? Like, what's the general?
I mean, this
vibe?
wasn't really a Direct. This was a partner mini Direct. So this was Nintendo showing off what third-party companies are coming out with.
So
Nintendo
you're saying
hasn't.
you think there'll still be like a big direct in like a month kind of thing?
I
or-
think
I don't know
so.
if it'll. Yeah, I think because typically what they do around this time is they do, like an indie showcase. They do a partners mini direct, and then they do the "This is everything Nintendo's got." Now, whether we get it within the next few weeks or we don't get it until fall or whatever, I don't know. But
Well, but that's
this
the thing. If
is
we don't get it
not a
until
single
fall-
part of this was anything Nintendo has lined up, so we still have to hear about that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we don't get it until fall, then we're looking at like winter releases at the earliest, which is kind of weird because normally, we would have all of our Nintendo news by now for like the second half of, 2022. And right now we know nothing about what Nintendo is working on, We haven't seen any more footage for Breath of the Wild
Right.
2. We don't really know about any of their other games. I think the last big game that came out was Kirby, and that's already done, So it's like, what comes next? What's the
I
next
wonder.
big-
I wonder if they're just going to do like game-specific directs from here on out. Okay, here's our Breath of the Wild 2 direct. Here's our...
Maybe.
What even is supposed to come out the rest of this year? I don't even know.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything because there was
I
Breath of the
mean-
Wild 2, but they delayed that until 2023. So
Right.
Bayonetta 3 is still floating around somewhere.
And technically
there's
that's a
rumors of
Nintendo
a Metroid
game,
Prime
but,
remaster.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really any big like. There's no Mario. There's no Zelda. There's no. I mean, there's Pokemon. That's technically
That's
Nintendo.
true.
you know?
Pokemon does their own thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like it's as much of a Nintendo release as like Bayonetta, It's like it's kind of where we are. Like we've heard a few things from like I don't know if you would call those second party companies, but like you know what I mean. We've heard a couple of things from other companies that are like attached to Nintendo, but what's the next big Nintendo project other than Mario and Rabbids, which is a Ubisoft game, but it's got Mario in it, Like,
Yeah,
what
no,
is-
you're
what's
not
coming
wrong.
next?
I guess for me the third party games, all the indie stuff, they've kind of just like clouded everything and then made me not realize that Nintendo isn't releasing a whole lot of stuff right now, because there's just so much other stuff coming out.
That's kind of where I am. I don't really think I need anything big AAA Nintendo. Like if it gets announced, I'm getting it. But like, Monster Hunter, I've got like 9 games coming out in September that I'm excited for. A month after my birthday, mind you. So that's frustrating. But still, there's a ton of stuff coming out that I'm really excited for all through the year. I don't really feel like I'm missing anything by not having like, 2 or 3 big Nintendo releases to look for, which is really weird because that's like the whole reason you play Nintendo games is for Nintendo.
Except
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
missing that big Nintendo surprise, like Metroid last year, like that thing that nobody knew was coming and everybody wants. Like
Where's Pikmin 4?
they have to give us something.
Well, you know what I want.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
there's like 8 things I want. F-Zero would be amazing. A new Kid Icarus would rock my socks.
Yeah.
More than anything, what I want is some kind of Zelda side project. I want like I'd rather it be 3D. It's probably going to be 2D, but I want another Zelda game that I can really latch on to.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to be or when that's going to be, but man, it'd be fun to have something else to look forward to and to tide everybody over who's excited for Breath of the Wild.
Well, exactly. Like if they dropped something in September, like a remake or like a Link's
I don't even
Awakening
want to.
style
I
sort
don't
of
even
thing.
want a remake. Yeah, I want like a full-on new Zelda game, but it can be like top down. It doesn't have to. It
That
doesn't
would be
have to be
nice.
that good. It's just
Zelda
I
Maker.
Zelda. Yeah, Zelda Maker.
I would absolutely love another top-down Zelda game to hold us over because I think, like, honestly, like if they split the series so that you get like traditional linear Zelda in top-down and wide exploration open world in 3D, then that's great. We get the best of both worlds, but
Ghost Steve makes a good point. We did get Zelda Maker, Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Oh,
And literally
come on.
make dungeons.
No, that's not the same, Steve.
that's not the same.
It is
I
pretty
guess-
close, actually. It
I
is
guess-
pretty close.
I guess out of our known games, the ones that I want to see something, at least like a logo, I don't know, are Metroid Prime. I want to see Pikmin 4 because it was announced, I feel like years ago that Miyamoto was working on that. And the Breath of the Wild 2, obviously, because, like, we know it's not coming this year anymore, but I'm still hankering for it.
See, I want the odd ones out. I want like the unexpected, like new Star Fox, new F-Zero, new Kid Icarus.
Yeah, Star Fox. We're still waiting for Star Fox on the Switch. So
we got Star Fox Zero. Where's Star Fox 1, Nintendo? Where is it? Where did you put it?
I want Star Fox Alpha. I want to play
Alpha and Omega. Buy both versions and mix them together to unlock all the files.
One version you get to play.
One version is only Landmaster levels.
Oh no! Don't buy that one, especially if it includes the submarine ones. No, I don't know. I guess you're right though. I mean, it's COVID though, right? Like that's kind of the answer to everything.
Well,
that's just kind of put a
but how? Here's the thing with that though. Like, because I was thinking that earlier today too, and then I was thinking, okay, but we already had like the COVID lull, and then games started coming out again. And I feel like we haven't had another lull as big as the first lull. So, like, aren't we kind of back in a phase where, like, people are making games? I feel like we're getting a lot of games. Like, look at the Nintendo Direct we had yesterday. Ton of games coming out across all different companies, obviously. But, like,
that's not Nintendo and not Japan, though, right? Because they operate entirely differently. And
I mean, a lot of those companies were Japan.
But not Nintendo, which is what Eugene is saying. Yeah, that's a fair point.
And the other part of that too is that a lot of games take like years and years, like 5 years to make. Like COVID, like just was a thing. So like if some of these games were ramping up, or like only had a year in development when COVID ramped up, I can definitely see where the delays would come. It's just kind of how it works. So I don't know. I'm just gonna play the games when they release. I don't want to worry about too much otherwise, because otherwise I'm just gonna get disappointed. I waited for like 15 years for Metroid Dread, and it finally came out. You know what I mean? So like, if I'm gonna be waiting for games,
I think my biggest disappointment was that Square didn't announce anything about the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. Like, why are those not coming to Switch yet?
Yeah, that is true. Well, give it time. I'm sure it'll pop in and show itself. All right, we've talked this topic
cloud-based.
I'm moving us on. Eugene, what have you been up to? What games have you been playing?
I'll make it brief, because it's really just been all Dark Souls, all Elden Ring and Xbox Series X games, because I got a new console and it's shiny and it's new, and been kind of just been playing a lot of games on that. Beat Ninja Turtles, that was fun. Don't know that there's a whole lot of reason to go back to that, because I'm not playing with any y'all or anything like that, but it was fun. It was a fun romp. Reminded me a lot of the old Turtles in Time, Turtles arcade type of stuff. So glad I got the chance to play that for free. What else? Picked up Tunic again, because itching for another experience that's kind of, Dark Souls, Elden Ring-esque. That one is more is giving me more Fez vibes, and I never beat Fez because I was never smart enough for that. So I fear that I'm not going to be smart enough for this game, and I don't want to have to resort to just like sitting in front of a guide reading it from my iPad. So I don't know. I'll give it a couple of other shakes, but
go
ahead.
There is a point with games where, rather than concede and read a guide, you want to just say, like, that's what I did with Fez. I said, I can sit here and I can step by step walk my way through this game, or I can just say, I had a good time and I don't need to beat it. And that's what I did with Fez, And I totally understand where you're coming from with that. There's so many games out there. That's kind of where I am
with Cuphead.
Yeah, there's so many games out there that if you can't beat it without like resorting to online help, and you just don't want to do that, you just say, it's fine. I don't need to beat it. Maybe I'll come back to it someday. But it was a good game, and it's not always about hitting, credits, rolling credits. Sometimes it's about playing a game and enjoying it until you stop enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is another reason for buying games on sale, because if you didn't pay full price for it, then you don't have to feel bad about not beating the full game.
Again, I keep going back to Game Pass, because that's the beauty of it. Because a lot of these, like Tunic, I think free on Game Pass. So like I didn't have to spend a dime on it. Got to spend like 10 hours in the game, feel like I got my fill, but also don't feel like I'm wasted any money on it. Like it's just a really good value. But what else? I did play some more Mario Strikers Charged, or not Charged. Jeez,
How are you doing?
Okay, I beat the first whatever galactic tournament. That
Better than
is
me. Better
hard.
than me.
It is
Yeah, it's
hard. Oh
really
man,
hard.
they're
I can't
good.
Beat the first, I can't beat the first enemy in that tournament, let alone like
Sure.
the entire tournament. Yeah,
Yeah, it gets rough. Like you feel like
and I
you're.
love that.
Oh
And
yeah,
I love that.
because it keeps me coming back. You know, like I
Yeah.
I have a reason to keep playing this game now. You know, like I felt like when I torched through the first ones, I was like, yeah, you know, I got this. This is easy. And then I went into the online mode super unprepared. But after I beat this tournament, like just like grinding my teeth like for seriously like for a couple hours this weekend.
Yeah.
I finally beat it. And I went online and I finally won my first match. So like it works, you know, it forces you to actually, I guess, play a good match. Not a good soccer match, but a good Mario soccer match, because there's a difference. You have to learn the strategy of how to be a good player in this game, because you gotta, at least for me, the thing that's really moved me over the edge is that I've learned how to use the manual mode properly, in that I can move the other characters around kind of like chess pieces where I want them to go, and then then I can kind of like set up my attack or my defense, as it were. It's really hard though, because you're not just controlling the one character, you're really thinking about controlling the whole team. But that's the way that really got me to, kind of progress my game. So I don't know.
See,
maybe that works for you. Maybe it doesn't.
I don't know that I ever want to get that good at this game. Like, I like this game.
Sure.
I have a lot of fun with this game. I eventually want to beat the Galactic Tournament, but I feel like I will probably end up brute forcing my way through it, as opposed to getting really just getting good enough to make it. Kind of like that's how I see myself progressing over years, you know? Like I just like, I love this game, but I'm not at that level where it's like, okay, this is my game and I'm gonna learn every inch of it. I have a game like that I've been playing a lot of that I will talk about on my Change the System. But it's Mario Strikers. I just want to play it like a loser, 10-year-old who's never played a game before. So.
And that's what's so cool about these tournaments, because for me anyways, it's enough. Like, it's enough of a single player experience that it's kind of keeping me coming back, So enjoying the hell out of this game. Great palate cleanser between all the other weird crap that I'm playing. But that's really it for me. So I'll pass the mic.
All right, Justin, you want to take it?
Sure, because mine's going to be short too. Really not a whole lot of different stuff as usual. Haven't had a whole lot of time to play. I do have a couple of new things on the list, however. Speaking of point and click mystery adventure games, Blade Runner, the original PC game, came out on the Switch in the past week. Never played that, but Blade Runner is one of my all-time favorite movies, so I had to get it. Haven't played a whole lot about it. I've actually never really played a point-and-click adventure game ever, so this is kind of a new experience for me. But that's what it is. If you've played it, it's back. If you haven't and you like Blade Runner, you'll probably like this. But I haven't gotten very far in it. I don't know. I know point-and-click adventures have a reputation for being kind of opaque and just hard to get into. But I figure if worst comes to worst, I'll look up a guide.
That's what I've done with Sam.
I also picked up a new game, which oddly enough we reviewed a long time ago and poorly. I got Uno on the Switch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, I think this is
they
fixed
updated
it?
version
of
Uno. Okay, but it plays a lot like
unplayable for us.
Yeah, this plays a lot like the mobile phone version that I played, which is nice. I've found myself playing a lot of Last Card in the Clubhouse games on the Switch, and I'm like, I really want to play like actual Uno with actual Uno rules. And it was on sale for $4, and I've had it in my wish list for years. I'm like, you know what? For $4, I'm gonna get this and I'll play it. So yeah, it does play pretty well. I wish you could play it with more than just 4 players. It'd be nice to like have 6 or something like that. But um, when you turn on all of the house rules, like the 7-0 rule, and the jump in rule and all that, games can take quite a while because you think you're just about to get rid of your card, and then somebody plays a 7 and switches hands with you. So, but so that's been fun. The only other, I mean, I have a couple new games, but one I haven't played yet. But one game that I think it just came out, but I know it was, or at least still is, on sale, and I absolutely had to try it because it just looked weird. It's called The Psycho Duck, and it's this really kind of weird stealth, like top-down stealth game where you play as a duck who is obsessed with collecting crowns. And so your job is to sneak around a bunch of obstacles and frog guards to get to the duck on the other side of the screen and murder him to steal his crown. And
that's the only way you can steal a crown, right? It's by murdering.
It is such a ridiculous concept, and the game was only like $1, maybe $2 on sale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to try this. So I played a few levels of that. That'll be an amusing little distraction. Besides those, it's been honestly a lot of Picross. Because I need a game that I can play while I'm watching TV with my wife. Most of the games I want to play have either dialogue or music or something that kind of is mandatory for playing it. So, Picross has been my big thing.
Nice. Well, I guess that means I'm up, huh?
Thank you.
I've been playing games this week. I've been playing a lot of games this week. Mostly I've been playing Sonic Origins, which is where I want to start this journey. Because that came out, and this game does something for me that I haven't experienced in a while with an old game collection. Like, I don't know if it's just that I'm a Sonic fanboy or what, but the what are they called? I forget. They're not called like anniversary mode, but there's a mode in the game. I think it is
called anniversary.
Is it anniversary mode? Yeah. Well, it's the kind of the main mode. You can play them classically, like 4x3. You can also play them widescreen. And when you play, anniversary mode, you have unlimited lives. And not only do you have unlimited lives, at any point you can restart a stage, and it keeps track of what you already did. So like in Sonic CD, if you went to the past, you get to start the stage from the past, which is really cool. If you're trying to kind of see everything you want to see in the game and, beat all of the enemies in the past to change the future and stuff. If you have coins, which you collect instead of lives in the game, you can then spend those coins to retry any of the Chaos Emerald challenges. So if you're like me and you find Sonic games incredibly stressful until you have all 7 Chaos Emeralds because you're desperately trying to get all 7 before you finish the final boss, you can get them on your own time and replay a level over and over again until you finally get it. It is a really, really satisfying way to play these games.
So you're telling me that Sonic has rings and coins?
Yeah, now they have rings and coins. That is correct. Oh, I just became a cutscene. Yeah, I just became a cutscene.
That is disturbing.
Oh my god! Please tell me we're recording this. This is just... Oh my god! It's frozen on both sides.
A cutscene.
That's gonna be a GIF.
That's gonna be several GIFs, hopefully.
All right, so as long as we're interrupted anyway, are you still with us, Lucas, in audio mode?
I am still in spirit, yes.
All right, so I really want this because I do like some classic Sonic and all that, but like I have a hard time justifying $40 for this. Like, I feel like if this game had come out and was $20, or the $40 collection also had like the Master System and Game Gear games, it would be more worthwhile. But it just seems like $40 for what, 4 Genesis games just seems, even with all the enhancements, it just seems pretty steep since I have most of these on other collections.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the price is a little high, or I mean,
real
I know you're
quick,
gonna buy it anyway.
Real quick, before I do that, we have to take a moment out of the show, Eugene, because while I was trying to fix all my garbage, I unplugged the microphone instead of the camera. So we're gonna sync back up, okay?
All right, let's do it. Are you recording?
I am recording on the same audio file. So.
Oh, on the same audio file? That will make it. That's make it a little bit more difficult. But let me make a note of that.
Excellent.
Same audio file. Okay, let's sync up in 3, 2, 1.
5044.
Okay.
Love you.
44. No worries. I don't even know where to come in. I think Lucas was talking about a question Justin just posed, so I guess we can go from there, and I'll just splice it.
Yeah, that sounds good. So anyway, what I was going to say was, I think it's worth it, but price is relative to the person, right? I mean, either it's worth it for you or it's not. For me, it absolutely is, because I really like this game. Like it's just the classic games, So if you think each one is worth $5, then this probably isn't the right collection for you, because what you're getting is all of the classic games with all of the little bonus features that come with that. Playing as Tails and Knuckles in Sonic 1, and Tails in Sonic CD, and Tails and Knuckles in Sonic 3, and it's like, if that's enough for you, then get it. If not, then it'll be on sale eventually, so just hold off.
Yeah,
I just don't see myself replaying the game enough to get that much out of it, but I do want it. I do want these versions of it, especially with the infinite lives and all that. I don't know. I was really hoping that the Master System games would be included in this, but for some reason Sega seems to forget that they ever made them. So
yeah, I don't really care about those, honestly. Like, there's not much missing from this game for me. Now, the controversy, I guess we have to talk about, that everybody's been talking about, is the fact that the Michael Jackson music is changed. And if you go, there's like 3 levels in the game that no longer have the music they used to have. One of them, I would say, is a significant improvement. Casinopolis, I think that's the name of it. I forget. Casino Night. It's whichever one is in Sonic 3. It used to have that really annoying. Now it's got like the beta music that was like really good. So that's an improvement. Ice Cap Zone kind of sucks. Like, it's really, like, it was a really good song, and now it's really not a good song. And then there's like one other level, I can't even remember what it is, but it's changed too. Didn't bother me at all, honestly. I thought it was kind of cool, because it was like, oh, look at this, the music that could have been, like, how interesting. But there are people out there that are completely upset with all of this. So
beside themselves.
Take it as you will. If that's your deciding factor, then again, probably not the game for you. But I think this is like the definitive way to play these games. Like, let me put it this way, and this will kind of move us along on my change the system. I enjoyed playing these games so much that after I played through every single Sonic game from start to finish, watched all the cutscenes in between, got through that, I immediately jumped to Sonic Mania, and I've been playing through Sonic Mania because I wanted more.
I need to finish Sonic Mania.
I wanted more. I wanted to keep the story, because that's the thing about these games. The way they do the cutscenes in between, it's like one continuous story. So it's like you finish Sonic 1 and he sees the Chaos Emeralds fly off to the island from Sonic 2. And then you get to Sonic 2, or you get to Sonic CD. Then from Sonic CD, he flies off to Sonic 2. Sonic 2, he meets up with Tails, and it's so good. Like, it's so good. It's like watching a little cartoon. Like, I love it so much. So yeah, no, the Sonic games have completely enraptured me and taken up all of my time. But again, we do have a show to finish here, so let me move on to the other games I've been playing. I am at a weird critical juncture with Fallout New Vegas. I really like this
Which,
game.
by the way, is on Game Pass, so I downloaded it last week.
So here's my issue. And you probably will have less of it because you're playing it on console, but this game crashes all the time. And I thought it might be me. Now, it started crashing for me well before I started installing mods. And I've only installed a couple. They're like quality of life mods. The only one I installed that's like a novelty mod is one that lets you play the game after you've finished the story, because I'm getting close to the end of the plot. And I'd kind of like to have like a post game. You know, it's kind of cool. They actually like add like the faction that you sided with like takes over the Mojave and everything, which is really cool. But it's not a mod issue. I found out it's a game issue, because apparently, like I was on a mod that supposedly helps with crashes, and like the very first sentence is, "We all love Fallout New Vegas, but we're all tired of restarting our computers every 5 minutes because the game keeps crashing." And I'm thinking, oh no, this is just how this game is. It crashes all the time. And I've been wanting to sit down at night and just like casually play through the game. But it's hard to really relax and lose yourself in a game when you're saving every 5 minutes, because every 10 minutes the game crashes on you, you know? And you have to Control-Alt-Delete and sign out of your account and then sign back in to have the game force quit, because you can't force quit on Steam. And it's just, it's a mess. And none of the mods that I've downloaded that are supposed to be like anti-crash have fixed the problem in any significant way. So I'm in this weird spot with the game where it's such a good game. I love it so much. I want nothing more than to be able to sit down and finish this game. But I'm starting to find it unplayable. Like, it's so buggy now that I'm starting to find it unplayable. And it seems like the further into the game I get, the more it crashes. So I really, really hope I can find a way to stabilize this game. But it's annoying that's
a bummer.
You know? Yeah, it's annoying that it has to be work, because it's such a good game. And I hope on Games Pass it's just a flawless experience. But all I can say is on PC, it's trouble. Like it's been hard. So that's New Vegas for what that's worth. I did hear rumors the other day that apparently people are thinking there might be a New Vegas 2 at some point, which I would be really excited for. I would love a game like that if it was any good. But I do kind of understand now why the New Vegas fanboys are so down on games like Fallout 4. There's just so much like choice and control of how you play this game compared to a game like that, which is much more like straight. I think there's still benefits to like Fallout 4, but it's so much more straightforward. And Fallout New Vegas is so like, you know, I want to play as an absolute psychopath. So I'm going to give myself the psychopath perk. And, you know, then all of a sudden you're like crazy talking like random strangers. And, oh, I don't want to side with this gang in the town. I want to murder their leader, like walk into town and just murder everyone. And you can do that. And as long as you're strong enough, or you can talk your way out of a bad situation, or you're stealthy enough, or whatever the case may be, you can be whatever you want to be in this game. And that's really cool. Like, there are not a lot of games that do that. I used to watch Dan Harmon. He did like Harmon Quest. It was like an animated D&D thing. And he would always knock video games because of like linear choices. He would say, oh, well, it's like a video game. I don't really have any choice in anything. This is like the closest you will get to like a tabletop, like D&D kind of experience in a game. If you want to do a thing, the odds are you can do it. Do you want to side with the racist Caesar's Legion that like crucifies people? Do you want to side with the government that's coming back and trying to build up the thing? Do you want to side with the cannibals and become a cannibal and eat people with them? Do you want to take over the desert yourself and screw every other group in the desert? You can do whatever you want. And that's so cool. Like, I really like this game. So I need to fix it because I really want to keep playing it, but we will see. The other game that I'm putting a lot of time into is Fall Guys. I really, really, really like Fall Guys. I'm playing a lot of it. I get really frustrated sometimes because people, you know, grab you and pull you and ruin your runs. But I love this game. I found my battle royale. I love this game.
I need to download that.
So good.
I need to play it. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
Totally free. And unless you care about cosmetics, there's no reason for you to ever spend a dime on it, because you can literally earn in-game money just by playing, and you know, then you can buy whatever you want. If you want to look like a banana, just save up some money and buy a banana costume that comes to the shop. Exactly. So that's that. And really the only other game that's worth talking about at all is Sam & Max. It's not really that worth talking about, right? Because it's just Sam & Max. It's a like freaking 15-year-old game. But I've been playing
20.
Last night, yeah, I guess 20.
Oh wait, you're
I
playing
don't
that.
know.
Which one are you playing?
I think I'm playing the one that came out in 2006.
Oh,
Save the
okay.
World.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh man, I'm just
Either way,
my life just flashed before my eyes. Continue.
geez. But either way, it's a really fun game. I've been really enjoying Sam and Max. I've fallen headfirst into this universe. Yes.
I say, is are you having like, is that one hard to figure out? Like, do you
So
get?
usually there's like a moment in each chapter where I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I finally like, do a Google search and it says, oh, go back to the first area and grab the poster off the second wall. And I'm like, oh, of course, I never would have figured that out, that kind of thing. But it is fun to try to figure out the problems yourself. They're not like overly complex. It's very simple all in all, but there are areas where it's like, I know I need to do this. I don't know how I do it, and that's kind of been my issue. I kind of used to do that with Phoenix Wright too. I remember there would be moments where I'd be like, let me just save with full health and try every available option until I get the one that works, that kind of thing. But no, it's a really fun, really charming game. Like I'm really enjoying it. It's absolutely a blast from the past, but it's a past I never experienced. So it's been fun. Last night I had
I have Grim Fandango on my Switch, but I haven't played it yet.
Boot it up sometime, give it a go, but no, like last night, like I had nothing to do. I was laying there in bed. I had talked to Steve for a little bit about the Monster Hunter stuff, and I tried to get into New Vegas and it kept crashing, and I was like, I don't want to do this tonight. I booted up Fall Guys. I lost a couple rounds. I was getting frustrated with that. I was like, I don't really want to do this either. And I was like, you know what, Sam and Max. And before I knew it, I spent like 4 hours in the game, so it's kind of that game you do when there's no other games to do, but sometimes it's all you want.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I just had a come to Jesus moment with Sam and Max. So I remember playing the original Hit and Road on the PC way back when. That game came out 29 years ago, guys. Like
it's old.
Oh god.
That game is almost as old as me. That game came out when I was like
93. 93.
Yeah, so
yikes.
I remember seeing a preview of that in some I think it was actually a Lucasfilm magazine or something like that, where they were showing off some of their new games, and that was one of the big new ones.
I had to update my sound card. I think I got like a Voodoo or something like that to play that game. Anyways, yeah.
Well, supposedly the third Telltale game is going to be getting remastered this year, so that'll be exciting. And then from there, who knows? Maybe someday we'll get a brand new game and the legacy will continue. That's the cool thing about this series. It's been like a comic and a old school like 8-bit point and click. And then it was a cartoon in the 90s. And I watched that the other day, which was really fun. And now it's like a Telltale game. And then they were in the Poker Night games that came out a couple of years ago. And it's just like, for whatever reason, it's funny that it would be these characters, because they're absolutely these kind of characters. They will not go away. They will not die. They just keep coming back. And it's kind of wonderful, honestly, that this obscure like video game character from like the almost 80s is still alive and kicking. And
the comics were 80s. I think it was 83 or something like that.
Yeah. No, I really love it. Like, honestly, I want them in Smash Bros. Now. Like, I have fallen head first for Sam and Max, and I am their biggest fan. So, yeah. But anyway, that is our show. That is the end of our show, because I was the last to change the system. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to spend the next... hold on. We have a question that I didn't see, because everybody's been chatting in the chat for the last hour and a half. So let me go ahead and pull that open real quick, and we will look at the question block question. Hang on. Oh, it's so tiny. It's so small, Eugene. I can't read that. Okay, hang on. I got this. Since this is a question, okay, this is from Anoel. Question block question in our Discord. Since this is a question about anything deal, here's a concept for you all to ponder. Consider a house cat sized up to about horse size. This is the first time I'm reading this, by the way. Sized up to about horse size. Human level intelligence. a whole loose tribal civilization of these people. My story idea is that the cats live in a wilderness while humans live in towns and cities. There's tension, of course, but the focus would be on pairings of young women from both people learning about each other and themselves. Sorry that I don't have a concrete question here, but I love this podcast and would love to hear you gents riff on my idea. Thanks. I absolutely love creative stories. I absolutely love this kind of stuff. So I am all on board for this. I think you got a cool kind of like Pocahontas style, like, one world meets the other world kind of thing. I love the angle of the woman thing too. I think that's really cool and unique because usually, you got to throw a big bunch of guys front and center in your stories. So honestly, I'm all on board. And the cat people kind of remind me of Khajiit, except that they're like, giant horse-sized cat people with human intelligence. But big fan all around. I say follow your dreams, go for it. I want to see what you can do.
You had me at cat people, so I'm all in.
What I really want to know is, do they use giant-sized litter boxes? Because
good question.
Well, what I want to know is, it specifically says sized up to horse-sized human-level intelligence. So, are they still on 4 legs, or are they upright?
It sounds like they're still on 4 legs. It sounds like these are like giant horse-sized human intelligent cats. Can they speak? Okay, that's a good question, actually. That's a good question. Can they speak? Because they have human level intelligence, but they don't have a human voice box. So could they like form their own language out of, would it be a different language? Would it sound different because it's coming out of a different type of voice box? We've only ever experienced...
Hell, for all we know, they don't already have that.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a good point too. But yeah, we've only ever experienced human vocalization before. But I'm sure a cat could come up with some sounds. Could they come up with enough intelligence, could they come up with the same sound as a human? That's a question you need to answer in your story. And I don't know the answer to it.
Yeah, I'm all in for this. I'm ready for the Amazon miniseries.
Well, keep us posted because we appreciate you. We love you too. And we want to hear more questions like this in our Discord. So if you are curious and you want to ask us literally anything under the sun, this is your chance to do it. Infendo Radio reserves the right to not answer any questions that we find particularly offensive, which we have done in the past and will continue to do in the future. Also true. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please, somebody turn that moment where I stuttered and became a weird half NPC on this YouTube video into something magical for me. We will be back again next week, and I will be talking exclusively about Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, because that game comes out tonight, and I'm really excited, and Steve's really excited. And these two, they don't give a crap, but they're going to have to listen to it anyway. So thank you all so much for watching. We will be back again next week. Bye-bye.
Adios.
See you real soon.
Peace.
Bye, YouTube.